Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this is a brand new series where I'm gonna pick a few questions from Microsoft Q&A with Azure tags and I'm gonna solve them in this video. So this is the first video where I have picked a question where a user asked to create a PowerShell script to figure out which are all the VMSS instances or VMSS skill set has auto scale enabled. So let's get started. All right, so this is a question: how to check if a particular VMSS has auto scaling enabled for a specific VMS at a specific VMSS level. My team manages thousands of VMSS. I would want to check if a particular VMSS doesn't have auto scaling option enabled. Is there a PowerShell way to check this? So in order to do this, I have created two VMSS. So one VMSS with scaling, auto scaling enabled. So this is I have named it like VMSS with scaling. So if I navigate to the scaling, I can see I have an auto scaling profile created, and it gets scaled out after 75% and scaling if it is CPU utilization is less than 25%. And I do have another VMSS and I named it as VMSS without scaling. And if I go to scaling, it is currently in manual mode. So auto scaling is not enabled, right? So in order to automate it, so let's say if I have thousands of VMSS instance in a subscription, I need to get a list of VMSS which doesn't have this auto scaling enabled. How do we do it? So basically, let's go to one of the VMSS, right? So this is a VMSS with auto scaling enabled. So there is a JSON view. This is similar to doing a get VMSS operation. So let me choose the latest API version. And in the results, you can see there is a name, ID, type, location, SKU, all those parameters. But I couldn't see any auto scaling, parameters or that configuration inside this as a result of this get VMSS results. So it has network profiles, it has storage profile, it has image reference, it has virtual machine profile, scale in policy, but it has nothing to do with the auto scaling and so on and so forth. All right. So if the auto scale feature information is not present in the property of VMSS, let's find out where this property is plumbed into. So I'm just gonna do an F12 and then I'm just gonna click on scaling. And I can see here I have auto scale enabled. So let me stop this. And I can see this portal tries to call a bunch of APIs which basically returns all this auto scale information in it, right? So I'm just going to open this invoke API, and over here you can see there is an invoke API which is targeted against this ID, which is nothing but Microsoft.insight/autoscale settings. And then it is basically asking, okay, the location is this, name is this, and property is this. Um, right? So this is basically what we saw, what we get, right? So this is a response. Response is basically what we have here, and this is a response that we actually got, right? In the header, in the request, we can see what is a request. So this is a request. It basically is asking for Microsoft.insight/autoscale settings. Filter is target URI plus the subscription IDs and stuff, right? When this API is called, we are getting this response. So it's a Microsoft.insight slash autoscale is the key here, right? So when I actually went ahead and checked what this what is the equivalent command for this in PowerShell. So if you see under monitor, az.monitor, you can see get hyphen az autoscale settings. So this is the get command to get all the autoscale settings per subscription or per resource level. So when you run this, it gives you all the autoscale settings that is enabled in your subscription. And then once you get that, once you drill down into that, you will be able to get the resource ID to which VMSS this auto scale settings is associated with. So that's what we are exactly going to do. So I have a PowerShell script written. So the first two lines of the script gives the resource ID of the VMSS which has the auto scale enabled. And the second, these two lines basically gives the entire VMSS resource ID for all the VMSS in your resource in your subscription. And B minus A basically gives you the VMSS resource ID which doesn't have this auto scale enabled. So if I just run this, two lines, and then let me just show you the output of this guy. So this basically gives me the two VMSs which I have in my subscription. So I have two VMSs. One is VMSS with scaling, another one is VMSS without scaling. So this two, let me run this and let me print the output of this. And this guy gives me the VMSS resource ID which has scaling enabled. And you can see I'm able to see VMSS with scaling. And this is a small PowerShell script which I have written, which is B minus A in an array, which gives me the resource ID of VMSS, which doesn't have the VMSS, sorry, which doesn't have the auto scaling enabled. So if I run this, if I'm getting this resource ID, which is VMSS without scaling. So you can use this script. I will just put the script in the description. So you can use the script to kind of um, list down all the resource IDs which is present in your subscription without auto scale feature enabled on your VMSS. I hope this is useful, and I will post the link of this video into this um, into this Q&A question as well, so that you can just review this video to fix this to get answer to your question. I really hope this is useful for you.